Welcome to Daily Matters with Jack and Cabber. We talk about topics of interest such as relationship, politics, social wrath manifestations and protests, social unrests including robbery, rape, domestic violences and assassination, discovery, natural disasters and calamities, religion, and art, hip-hop, soccer, and all the miscellaneous and news around the globe are unfolded here.
Some truths and straightforwardness could shock some of our viewers. Daily Matters with Jack and KABR, a stage of truth.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Daily Matters with Jack and Cabber. So this morning again, we're glad to be with you to nail another topic, right?
Absolutely, we're ready to shoot another bullet today, guys. Are you ready to take it?
Yeah, I hope they're ready,
Yeah.
So again, back on the stage of truth to develop another topic with you today.
Absolutely.
And discussing,
Daily Matters.
as we said, you can let your standpoint in the comment section. So today we have a great topic that we're going to talk about, right, Mr. Jack?
Absolutely, that's a fantastic topic, guys. It's a little kind of weird, right? Because we don't talk about it like, in everyday's conversation.
Yeah.
But, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked, hearing that, because when it comes to this topic, most of the time what we talk about is the advantages.
That's it.
But, we're going to shock people by, listing some stuff about it, which is not good.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about also the drawbacks. Everything has, some positive and negative, parts. So we going to, try to tackle the negative parts today.
Absolutely. Guys, you won't guess today's topic is we're going to talk about the dangers of listening to motivational videos.
So as Mr. Jack said, the dangers of motivational videos. So the question here is, are motivational speakers leading us, astray? This is, the question that we're trying to ask ourselves.
Yeah, when it comes to motivational videos, we think about, like we said, the positive aspect, pushing us to be stronger and pursue our goals and everything. But today we're going to talk about the negative aspect.
Yeah, that's it. So, Mr. Jack, right, so talking about, drawbacks of, motivational speakers.
Yeah.
So first, can you first try to define us, normally, what is the role of a motivational speaker?
Alright, so, literally and basically a motivational speaker is like somebody who can sit out there and motivate people, who are pretty a little bit discouraged, and in different, in different fields. It can be in love, it can be pursuing your goals, but they're out there to, motivate us, encourage us with some words, to keep us going, right?
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. So thank you for this definition. Okay. Can you tell us? I have something like that really bothers me. I don't know if. So my concern is to know if sometimes the realities, what motivational speakers say, fits with their own realities, their own personality in their real lives.
I don't think so. Being a motivational speaker doesn't mean like we always, experiment the same stuff or the pieces of advice we give to people. It doesn't mean like we went through the same situation. It's not always like that. Like it always doesn't go with the reality. Sometimes we kind of, they're a little fictional, but it all comes down to being able to motivate people, even if it's a little extraordinary or something unrealistic. But the target and the goal is to motivate people. Like it's not always real. They don't always go through the same situation they're talking about.
So here what you mean is that motivational speakers are lying to us.
Not lying to us, because when they motivate, it's not maybe they didn't go personally through the stories they're telling us, but maybe they heard it from books and different stuff. That's what I mean. Like they are not forcefully like going through the same situation.
So you mean those people, screaming, yelling in the videos, you mean that, if those situations happen to them, they would be weak.
Yeah,
that's what you mean.
It's very easy to talk about something when we're not in.
Yeah.
Right. You see your friend, he's going through a hard breakup, and you can easily stand out there and say,
come on,
I'm saying, a man doesn't cry. Move on with your life. Put yourself together. Go after your goals. Stop crying, stop doing that. A man doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's easy when we are not living the circumstance. So we can motivate people because we're outside of it.
Yeah.
We don't feel concerned, but a person is in it, living it, that's totally different. So that's it. But I think it's actually great to be able to motivate somebody to get out of a hard situation.
But today we noticed that, the motivational speakers, numbers, has grown, very, I would say
drastically.
Yeah. So is everybody called to be a motivational speaker?
No.
Because many people, they just wake up like that. They, they have just some, they just have a camera. They just think about a topic and they stand up like that. Everybody wants to be a motivational speaker, but that doesn't really fit.
And I think that's one of the worst things that we can ever do. Some people who potentially don't have the skills to be motivational speakers standing out there and start making videos because today it's easy. You just put a camera in front of you and you start recording yourself saying whatever you think. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you don't have skills in a field, you can like easily lead people to be doing stuff in their lives that are really not good for themselves, like mislead people so like coming back to your question, everyone is not called to be a motivational speaker. That you gotta have the skill for that. Be able to motivate people with your words. And if you don't have the skill, naturally the skill for that, that's not meant for you. You know what I'm saying? That's not your job, that's not your thing. So don't mislead people by putting a camera in front of you and start talking about, I'm gonna say bullshit.
So for you, is it because the person is famous, well known, that his word are reliable, or is it if the person is not well known, we should not try to like this is what you're trying to mean, right?
I'm not gonna say that the person should obligatorily forcefully be famous, like all the famous motivational speakers that we know, but like the person should go through a certain hardship before you be able to stand out there in front of people and say and motivate them. You should, personally have gone through hardship, have lived, have suffered, and the fact of seeing you standing on the stage today and you made it out, you made through it, you fought through the pain and you fought through the hardship, and today you made it out, you then, looking back at your past and seeing what you became today, can bring us to listen to what you're saying, because we know that you lived it, you went through it, and you won against it.
But don't you think that motivational speakers, motivational speakers say what the public wants to hear? Like, what we want to listen. That they just display what we want to hear. So, and what can also be false. What can lead us out of the track. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Sometimes they know the words that the public is expecting. So they just photocopy. They just copy and paste it, and just give it us. No?
Sort of like sometimes they sure do that. A person going through like mourning over something, a person who lost his parents or he lost his sister. You know what I'm saying? We literally know the words that we should, talk out to the person for the person to feel good, or the person who's somebody who's going through a breakup. We literally know the words that we can use, and redirect the thoughts of the person.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the preliminary questions. So now we're gonna dive deeply into the topic.
Let's come back to the core, guys.
Right. So now, coming back to the deep down of our question. So, do you really believe that motivational speakers can lead us astray?
That's very possible, guys. You may think like, no, this is impossible, but when it comes to love and relationships, that's very possible. We often hear motivational speakers saying, if somebody's sort of ignoring you, ignore him back.
Yeah.
If somebody's not ready to make time for you, then go back like the world and take some days off and build yourself up, focus on your future, don't give attention. Imagine if you're in a relationship and you're sitting down just because you're watching some motivational videos, you're sitting down and you kind of want to implement what you heard. Like the man said, don't pursue a girl.
Yeah.
Right? So if your girl loves you, she always gonna test you
First. This is
prove,
the mistake.
to prove that she loves you, she gonna test you. And imagine if your girl also is sitting down over there and thinking or saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, my man, if he loves me, he gonna test me first. And y'all are sitting, you're sitting apart. No one wants to make the first step because you guys are used to watching motivational videos telling you not to be the first to commit, not to be the first to act. Because if the other person is, genuinely in love with us, should be the first to, make the first step. Like, you guys are sitting down and nobody wants to make the first step. Imagine if you spent 1 day, 2 days, 3 days in that situation where nobody is willing to. Everybody got their ego. No, I'm not making the first step. That's showing to the other person that I'm too,
I'm too valuable.
I'm too dependent. That's going to undervalue me. I'm not going to pursue. I'm an alpha male. Right.
Alpha male, yeah. And most of the time in videos, the target is men.
Yeah.
Men, are the ones who, most of the time, try to copy these, advice.
Absolutely.
And it is not that bad, but sometimes it depends on the type of problem that you have.
When we men are genuinely in love with a girl, sometimes it, at a certain extent, it feels like we are dumb. We can't control ourselves. We can, call her every time of the day, be testing her because we want to hear her voice or we want to see her, so we keep trying to schedule some appointments with her. So when we listen to motivational stuff like that,
Yeah. All right. So don't you think you touched a really interesting point that I wanted to ask. Don't you think that also motivational videos sometimes are good because we're gonna notice that some men can really not hold the feelings, cannot really try to hide their feelings, and there may be sometimes writing, calling, and when it is too overdone, it becomes boring, and you may seem boring to her now. So don't you think that sometimes listening to motivational stuff to try to make yourself right is also important?
Yeah, a little bit, what I'm saying. Sometimes, when you overdo, like you want to call the girl 24 hours out of 24 hours, you always want to listen to her. Like, you can't even spend an hour or some minutes without seeing her. Like, you constantly want to be in contact with her. That could potentially be a problem. So, but I don't think like we need to listen to motivational speakers, to fight against that. And what you should understand is in a relationship, somebody should appear as a little dumb.
Yeah, somebody, two smart people cannot be friends.
Like,
this is not possible.
The man is always gonna say, two captain can be on the same board.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. You're not gonna try to lead the relationship because I'm the man of the relationship and I'm an alpha male.
But your expression is really this is what motivational speakers display, like be an alpha male, like don't care. I sometimes I even hear some motivational speakers say, don't write it first.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't they'll be like, don't write it first. Don't depend on that. Don't beg for beg for attention, all of that. And be busy. Be thinking about your business.
That's it. And they're literally telling the same to the girl. If a man loves you, he's always going to be making the first step. He's always going to be testing.
Most of the time, men motivational speakers, men motivational speakers don't talk to girls like encouraging them to be.
No, I'm not.
Maybe it is female.
Yeah, I'm talking about
female coaches.
Some alpha female.
Yeah,
how do you want me to call it?
Alpha female.
Yeah,
they're like
alpha
independent
female.
women.
Independent women.
Authoritarians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're also telling girls, don't test your man first, because when you do that, the man's gonna feel like, oh, this girl loves me too much,
and take it for granted.
Yeah, he's gonna take it for granted. He's gonna, profit, take advantage of that, and do some bad stuff. So, don't show your man that you love him at a certain extent, at a certain point. Let him always make the first step by calling you, by testing you. Imagine if you both want to listen to the motivational, speeches and implement the same stuff in the real world. You're not gonna go anywhere. Your relationship is not gonna last long. Because y'all are trying to, like, I'm the captain,
Yeah.
I'm the pride. You should run after me.
That's it.
Right? You should run after me, and the man is also sitting down over there. She should run after me because I'm the man.
But
Right?
normally, for you, who should run after who? Because according to the Bible, woman was made for man, but not man for woman.
Absolutely.
So normally, I think it is women that should be running after men. But I don't mean that we should, overdo being alpha males. But
I think to answer that question, I think women in general are the ones that should run after men. But the sad reality in the society is that we want to hook up with mostly a lot of men want to hook up with girls that are, I'm not gonna say made for them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see out there's some genuine girls, some kind girls, some sweet ladies
But they don't want it. They don't want that,
who are
bro.
running after them, who
No.
are ready to do everything and anything to be with them, but they're not even looking at those girls. They're looking
They're
for the
already
top
taken for
10.
granted,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, taken for
They're
granted.
looking for the top 10, and in that case, imagine if you want to pursue a girl who is not, like, who doesn't want to talk to you. You text a girl, she's like ignoring you during the whole day. Some days you come back and text her, she's ignoring you. You're gonna always play the dumb.
Yeah.
You're gonna always play a stupid role in the relationship.
And I don't think it's
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
work.
Like, you are desperately trying to to create a relationship with that girl. How do you want it to be submitted and always be calling you as it's supposed to be natural?
And she'll be playing, she'll be playing the superstar. Now I'm saying?
Absolutely. She's gonna be like, kind of ghosting you all the time.
Yeah, and even be rude to you
Yeah.
because she thinks that you cannot do without her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and you how you doing? She's like, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Everything you say, okay, no.
And like babying her, but she never baby you.
Nothing,
You know,
nothing.
She never baby you.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but this is funny because look, when a girl doesn't love you, it is like it's like you're losing your value to try to convince her to love you.
That's
It's
it.
like you're begging.
And
But the sad reality is also that we don't want those who want us. It's like love is made to suffer. People just want to suffer, want to put their hands, where you cannot reach. It's like that.
I really wish the society gets to understand that, not everyone can love us, and you don't have to waste, it's not because you're trying to give more attention and more time to somebody who doesn't look at you that the person is at a certain point going to change and decide to say, you know what, since the person is desperately trying to get me, I'm finally gonna accept, I'm finally gonna let the opportunity for him to get in. No, it's never gonna work like that. The more you're trying to pursue the person, and the more the person is going to be, closing the door, keeping the door closed, keeping
Crashing
the door
you.
locked, crash you out,
Yeah.
Not letting you in. So your attention doesn't matter. So I wish the society understands that. We should care about people that love us.
But you think that this is possible? People want people want things that are just
understand.
proud to be
That's
to
it.
be introduced to somebody.
We generally look at people who don't want us like more valuable than we are. You know what I'm
That's
saying? If he were at the same level, as me or with me, he would not, he would not behave in that way.
like
so
that.
he sees himself as, or she sees herself as more important, more valuable than me. That's why she or he is not giving attention to me.
That's
You know what I'm
it. That's all
saying?
it is.
And the more we put them at the pedestal, like more valuable than us, the more we want to get them, the more we want to be with them. And they don't want, because they look down on us. Feel me?
Yeah.
And
But this comes back to the same. So don't you think that motivational speakers are right? Because trying to give attention to them nowadays, to a girl, do you think that really works today? Don't you think that today is like shelling money, spending that can make it get a girl? Because sometimes you'll be like, being romantic, but it's like you're wasting your time, and she seems like boring. You're like getting me irritated. You know what I'm saying? You know, somehow.
We I think we are misunderstanding things, and when you're in the dating process, that's way different from when you guys are definitely and finally in a relationship. When you're in a process of dating, like you took her number, you're trying to date her, you're trying to convince her to be with you as a boyfriend and girlfriend, and she doesn't want to give attention to you. You may say that wasting money. I'm not going to say a lot, but wasting some amount is part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Giving you time is part of the process until you win her. But if you remark that, you notice that after doing all that it takes to win a girl, she's like literally not looking at you at all. She doesn't want to do anything with you, but you're like the one who are like doing everything and even more than everything to win her.
You remind me.
That's way different from when you're in a relationship. Imagine you're in a relationship with your girl, like you won her heart. You guys are definitely in a relationship, and you still want to implement motivational stuff in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna call her today.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning. Some people are like that. They wake up in the morning. Nobody's willing to text. The other person, they are definitely in not the dating process. Yeah. They're definitely in a relationship, but still, no one wants to make the first step. Imagine.
But you talked about an important point that I wanted to ask you. So you talk about being officially together. Yeah. So for you, when can we say that a couple is officially together? Is when the pussy is handed over, or when is when is just because we cannot say that in a relation. Like, she cannot tell you that we are in a relation. I accept. She would never tell that. So do you think that?
Well, she's not going literally, and with words of mouth tell you, we definitely are in a relationship. And some girls actually say that. But you're gonna remark that you guys are, we can call it a relationship, depending on how she behaves towards you.
So you mean handing over the thing is not, the
it's
most
not
important
always,
aspect?
You know what? A relationship can't or doesn't always start by handing over the way you're saying it, or moving to the X act. It's not always like that. You know what I'm saying? Most of the relationships don't start like that. You can start with some little basic stuff like kissing, cuddling. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a girl who before wouldn't allow you to kiss her, but at a certain point she allows you to kiss her. You can kiss her. You can cuddle her. Now you can notice that she's kind of opening up a little bit and letting you do stuff that girlfriend and boyfriend will do.
And definitely this means that you're gonna score, right?
Yeah, and one step leads to another. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna move a little bit up the ladder, and definitely you're gonna have the X act later.
Oh yeah. This is important, but it's not the most important point. It is not the man goal of the man going after a girl. So you should also know that. Not say that we are like encouraging people to
not at all.
to get girls hand over
It will be too easy.
Yeah, you said it too easy. But some men also define, being in a relation officially like, when you hand over the pussy. But if the pussy is not handed over, it means that.
But some girls,
nothing concrete is done yet.
Yeah, some men are considered. Men we used to define girls' love depending on handing over the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Finally allowing you to have the sex act with her. We define her love by that. But even girls do the same thing. If a girl wants to lock you down, wants to make you her man, most of them move to that final level, final step, to lock you down, because they think like when you're gonna screw her, you're gonna be hooked to her.
But some stupid girls also would think that once you screw her, you're gonna bounce.
It depends, right? Because here in Africa, many people may think that depending on what they're living every day in everyday society and everyday life, you know what I'm saying? We can witness a lot of men do the same thing.
But they're sort of putting all the men in the same box.
Yeah, general case, man, general case. Since most girls are living the same thing, like they think, or that may be a misconception, but we still live in it too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men would just go after girls, and and they can do everything required, but they have a certain goal. Once the goal is reached, They lock the door. But in Western society, like in America, like in Europe, girls use that to lock their man down. Like I want the man to be for me always. They're gonna just give him that, proving him that they're into.
I even think that is the best way, to show your man that you love him. Because giving yourself to a man is a proof that you love him.
That's also awkward. How do you?
But anyways, let us put a parenthesis on that because then this is not the main topic. So let's come back to
that's
deep down there.
That's another big topic.
Sometimes you may hear motivational speakers saying, don't give attention to your family members. If they don't test you, don't test them. Ignore everybody. Be silent. Be mysterious. Do you think that it's always required to be silent to ignore your family members?
I don't think that I don't think we always, no matter what we do, we are bonded with them and to them for life. Biologically and naturally, they're our family.
But what it means is like they never call you, like you're the one after the one running after them every time calling, but they will never call you. They will never ask you how you doing. They will never even, they know that you're a student. Some people are well placed in the family, but they will never give you $1, and they will never call you. But you're the one every time calling them. That no, okay, you understand? Like they're my parents, they're my uncles. I'm the one to call. Yeah, it's not. They should not be running after me. But at least sometimes they may also call you because if you were a child. If you got your child somewhere, at least you will call him once a week. So, and they never call you. So, in that context, it is normal to, they may like see it normal to say that you should keep quiet now, not caring about them. What do you think about it?
We are in Africa and in an African context. You guys may say it's pretty weird. You may stay silent. We may lock them out and do your own thing by your own, not giving a fuck to anybody. But I think as a little man, because you said it, at the end of the day, you are like little in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So imagine your uncles or your aunts or you can just be giving them some calls time to time. It's not like something that you're gonna do or you're gonna be doing always every day, but some couple of times, once in a blue moon, just give them a call.
But they're like, be silent, be mysterious, don't care about anybody. You think that
when it comes to don't care about anybody, it can be in the general world. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe friends, like acquaintances, people who don't really necessarily care about you. But we are desperately trying to be with those people. I think it's in that way that they're saying, lock them out. You know what I'm saying? Forget about them. Get yourself together and do your own thing. But when it comes to family, I don't think that, no matter what we do, we are, linked to them. You know what I'm saying? So we can't and when things go bad, sometimes they're they're the first people that we can go back to.
Yes,
and explain.
Sure.
Always be in good terms with them.
That's it. But there's also an aspect that they say, get yourself busy. Sometimes they're like, even if you're not busy, try to lie. Try to say I'm busy. Try to just find a reason not to be available.
I feel you.
I know. Sometimes it is also good not to be too much available because they say the more you make yourself scarce, the more you have value. Yeah. But sometimes applying this remedy can spoil many things in relation, in job, losing friends, all that.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. They're literally gonna tell you, what, get yourself busy or pretend to be busy.
Yeah, that's what
I'm saying. But that can ruin a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, in relationships, mostly in relationships and with friends, friendships and all of that. So yeah, you can be busy, but still try to make time for people who matter to you, people who are important.
Try also to check on
people you can always count on, people who are always going to be there for you, and people who are equally showing attention and affection to you.
This is an important point. Yeah. Showing equal attention because you don't need to be running after somebody
who doesn't care about you. Who doesn't care about you.
But it is sad in relation. This is what is happening.
Yeah,
people are running after you.
Absolutely, we want people who don't want us.
But can you explain this fact? Why people don't want the thing that they can afford? Like They don't want a girl or a man that they can afford. It's like this is too much. This is just little for me. I mean, this is not my portion. It's like that.
That's it. They don't look at the person or the thing with the same value. You know what I'm saying? They feel like somebody who's desperately trying to be with me doesn't deserve me. Like
Yeah.
I'm more valuable than the
That's
person.
it. And I even know some people that I try to advise you sometimes, like in life, if you want to reach a goal, don't choose the good one, but choose the perfect one. It's like what the one you love is good, but the perfect one is the one that loves you. It's like look for the one that loves you. But in most cases, it doesn't work because
it doesn't
you're not feeling anything. It's not reciprocal.
Yeah,
it's not just
I think-
reciprocal.
and that's really sad. And everybody has the right to be with and to love whoever they want. That's also it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always try to win them, but naturally they don't have any feeling for you. How do you want them to react back?
So in a nutshell, you mean we got not to listen to motivational speakers because they're going to definitely lead us to lost.
Yeah, that's it. Listening to them, like always, they don't say things that necessarily are important for us in real life. And depending, we all live in different contexts and different situations. So you're not going to listen to somebody who's like pretty much living a different lifestyle in a different situation, and that you're going to take the same advice and try to implement in your relationship, which is maybe a little different. You know what I'm saying? So it's their advice necessarily don't go with what you live in.
Sometimes they're like, be silent, don't speak, okay? But sometimes you may have some problems, and sometimes problems don't need to be silent.
Yeah.
You need to talk. You need to let it out so that somebody can help you.
Don't show
your weakness. It's like speaking is sort of weakness. Don't tell your problem to anybody. They're like, nobody can help you. Nobody wants to help you. They're all fake. It's like that.
Don't knock at the same door twice.
Yeah, they're like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, but sometimes your problem really needs somebody. People that sometimes, it is true that some people are wicked. But some people also don't have. But when they will tell you that they don't have, you're gonna find it like, no, they're lying.
And I also believe that if you have a genuine, a kind heart, sometimes you can bring somebody to change. Imagine if you guys are in a relationship and you love the person, but the person loves you too. We don't know, by the person's side, things may be a little weird, but you don't know since you're not in the person's shoes.
Yeah.
And imagine because something is wrong with a person, and we mostly men. Sometimes when we going through a hardship, like financial, we don't have
sort of being violent.
we broke a little bit. We tend to be silent and change a little bit, kind of weird in that little process. But imagine if your girl wants to ghost you and respond in the same way just because she feels like those days he's not calling me, he's not texting me, not trying to know what's going on down with you. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this lady. Who said, if a man is trying to show you that he's more important than you,
just send him back the same.
You got other options, right?
Yeah.
Lock him down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not trying to genuinely understand what's going on. Is there anything wrong with them?
And sometimes you try to project, baby, what is up? I mean, do you have some
Does
problems?
he have some problems?
Yeah.
You don't know. You're gonna ghost him and leave. And imagine if you don't talk just because you want, I don't want to give my dignity away. That's talk to him, keep talking to him, ask him what's wrong, and down the road he may tell you what's wrong. Like, baby, I didn't want to tell you, but this is what's going on down. You guys are gonna try to work it out.
And I think this is the main problem in couples. Couples cannot stand long because there's no base of communication.
And that's it.
They don't communicate.
I was surfing today on Facebook and I saw a post like somebody said, most of today's relationships end without any word. Silently. Nobody talks.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are in a relationship, and one day, just because the other person decided not to test you, and you also decided to play the same game,
because you listen to somebody.
2 days, 3 days, nobody's testing. 1 week after, the relationship is dying slowly, and it finishes by ending.
Yeah.
Like the relationship is over.
And if you're gonna notice, you're gonna notice that at the time of our parents, breakups were not like that. But today, people cannot spend 2 months together. Those who are able to do that, it's like they really communicate like strongly that it is very, the foundation is really made.
That's it.
If not, but at the time of our parents, there was no, sort of testing. There was no sort of social media.
There wouldn't be
it was not like that. They were like, I know having a woman at that time was difficult because they were like, they fight to have a woman, but it's not like girlfriend, boyfriend, and they're like be breaking up like a joke. But today it's like it's like that.
Yeah.
People breaking up like just ordinary thing. Like they're not taking it like
without even no reason. Like no reason.
Yeah, because
Because both parts, both sides are
motivational
silent.
speakers, bro.
Yeah, both sides are silent.
Back in the time, there was no motivational speaker to talk to our parents, so they wouldn't listen to
So
those type of stuff.
one would always pursue, and by the end of the day, maybe the other person would react equally.
That's it. But it is normal. You cannot just be writing somebody. The person doesn't write. The person doesn't respond. You call the person, and if it is one thing, you can understand that maybe it's not it's not in his mood. But if like 1 week is still like that, you would also think that the person wants to bounce.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, if such is the case, let it be so.
So
Yeah.
like we don't sit around the table, we don't call each other for any appointment, we don't talk about it objectively and together. Like the relationship dies without any word.
Yeah.
No, and if somebody asks you guys, why did you break up? You don't even have a reason. There is no relevant reason. There is no concrete reason.
But girls will find a reason. They're like, they're like, it's not good. It's like
all of you gonna say,
me.
all of you gonna say, he started being weird. He started testing me.
Oh, she may even say it threw me away.
Yeah,
it threw me away.
At the end,
it just tested me.
Yeah, he saw someone else
Yes.
and it stopped calling me and stopped, testing me.
Yeah,
you did the same thing.
That's it.
Maybe it wasn't the case, but since you did the same thing, all of you yell at, what I'm saying? I'm the boss.
That's it.
I'm not gonna let myself, walk on.
That's it. That's how it is. Today social media is making things. There's some advantages, but there's some some good things in it, but the sad reality is also the drawbacks is also this.
Yeah. So I think we should be
fake people coming to give. I'm not saying fake people. It's working for some people, but some people also try to implement it, but it will not work.
Absolutely. So I think we're not saying that you should stop totally listening to motivational speakers, but you should put things on balance. You should analyze things and see what really works for you and what doesn't,
and try to know the type of partner you have.
Yeah.
If it works with him or her. All of that.
Yeah. So don't take everything. Don't copy and paste everything that you see or you listen. From motivational speakers, and you want to implement the same thing in a reality.
What they say is like, even if sometimes if you try to check, those people speaking, they're not doing exactly what they're saying. In real life, maybe they're even begging for love, bro.
Yeah,
they're begging for love, they're begging for attention. But
like we said
recently, the misfortune that happened to Steve Harvey.
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
But we're not saying that he deserves it, but I don't know how he reacted to that, but I hope he was strong.
Yeah, we hope so. That's what we said. A lot of people are, when it comes to not experimenting, not living the same circumstance, situation, feel themselves like well placed to give advice, since they're not in.
Yeah,
so it's easy to give words.
When you're not in the shoes of the person.
Yeah, that's it. When you're not in the shoes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to living the situation in real life and personally, it may be a different, it may be a different story from what you're telling people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it. So analyze all the information and the pieces of advice that you receive online and from motivational speakers, and take the good ones that work with your situations and in your situations, and let those that can't.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Now, to close it with this last question, right? So we're going to close it with this last question. So, about motivational speakers. So, after all these, these arguments showing that motivational speakers are leading us, to the wrong track. Yeah, this is the wrong track.
The wrong track.
And, the wrong way. I mean, in most cases, it's like that because we already talked about it.
Absolutely.
So, wish for you, shouldn't we any longer watch motivational speakers, listen to them?
Yeah, and I think I'm basically gonna say that you asked a very important question. in the beginning by saying that is everyone made to motivate? That was a very relevant question, and you should listen to people who lived a concrete, thing according to what they're saying.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but imagine somebody who lived in a wealthy family.
Like a nipple baby.
Yeah, everything is sweet, and he comes out there and start motivating. What you gonna say? What you gonna tell people? You should personally live.
But you know that today when people succeed, they like shut up. They may even try to sometimes lie. Like they may overdo things.
Yeah.
Like I slept outside. I couldn't even afford a dish. I was left by my family. All that they were like invent many things like that to have to be pitied. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I think it's always gonna be discovered because there's some people with weakness.
You think so?
Yeah. I think so.
But those friends are not around to comment,
But
to say, yeah, you're lying, I knew you.
Today there's a certain freedom on social media. You can today, post a video saying something. I'm gonna comment down below that. You know what I'm saying?
But what is the word, bro? Like I know you, and tomorrow you decide to lie to people like you.
Or I can just make a
What
video.
is the word if of somebody knowing you going to make a video saying like, no, this man was lying in his previous video.
But
like,
imagine if a lot of people say you're lying. Definitely you were lying.
But what is the word of doing that? Of those, what do they gain doing that? Like going to say like you're lying.
They're gonna break it down because you're trying to give certain value to yourself.
Yeah, but it is a lie, bro. So this is not becoming a jealousy.
Nah, it's not jealousy. You should be proud of something that you lived. You're not gonna be out there talking about things that you didn't live and be proud about. You know what I'm saying? So, they gain satisfaction by breaking you down, by telling your audience and people who listen to you that you definitely, you didn't live what you're saying you lived.
But maybe people are gonna take them for haters. Like, this man should be like probably jealous. That's why he like came here on social media try to lie. Like,
It depends on the number.
You think that
It
people
depends on the number.
But I think many people would not indulge themselves in such a thing, like coming to say, yeah, I was his friend, and we were back at a time together. You didn't live that. It's lying. Like,
and I don't think that a lot of people are going to have the audacity to stand on stage or in different stages in front of billions of people, because when you're filming yourself, when you have a camera on, everyone can see. So I don't think that people are going to be able to stand in front of billions of people and lie about their personal life. I don't think, and mostly on TV, all of that. I think they're telling the truth. So I think you should check, their backgrounds, what they personally lived, how was their past, before you be able to give credit to what they.
all right, so thank you, Mr. Jack, for your standpoints about this topic. But I think the standpoints were objective, right?
That's it. That was just anonymous. That's objective all over the world.
So we would not say, to go back to, your partners and beg for love, or, go back to, be running after your family members. But we gotta tell you that you should also, do things, reasonably, try to moderate things, not overdo, because those people out there, we don't think that, the real life reflects what they're saying,
Absolutely.
in their videos. So right.
Act wisely, don't spoil your relationship.
That's
don't
it.
overdo.
Because some partners, you may lose some and never get, same again.
Your life soul.
Okay, so thank you, ladies and gents.
so
It was
much.
an honor to be with you, Trevor and Jack,
Always,
So we hope to see you again, in the next videos. So take care, and be careful of the drawbacks, of motivational speakers.
See you next time.
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.